Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today, well, we're looking at something that's now quite old. It's very collectible, and yeah, it's becoming a little bit harder to find, especially in this unopened condition. Now we are looking at a 2004 release by Tiger Electronics from their electronic talking action figure range. And this particular one we're looking at today is of none other than the wise old Jedi Master Yoda. And it's Yoda as we saw in Star Trek, the original, Star Wars, the original trilogy. And it's the version that was training Luke Skywalker. Now, as I say, it's all based on the original Star Wars trilogy, which was formerly known just as the Star Wars trilogy. But it was renamed to the original trilogy, or the classic trilogy, some people call it, to differentiate from the later trilogies in the same series. So, the original trilogy obviously was the first set of 3 films produced in the Star Wars franchise, which is obviously an American space opera. It was created by George Lucas, and it was produced by Lucasfilm and distributed by 20th Century Fox. And it consists of the 3 movies, which was Star Wars, which later became known as A New Hope. You had The Empire Strikes Back and The Return of the Jedi. So nowadays, this 3 trilogy serves as the second act in what has now become known as the 9-movie Skywalker saga. Obviously, we had the prequel trilogy, which was which was released 1999 to 2005, and the sequel trilogy, which is the most recent one, which was between 2015 and 2019, and collectively they are all now known as the Skywalker saga. Now, the film centre on the galactic civil war between the Rebel Alliance and the Galactic Empire, as well as the hero's journey, let's say, of Luke Skywalker as he endeavours to become a Jedi under the tutorage of the exiled Jedi Masters Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda. Now, Luke also joins forces with Princess Leia, Han Solo, Chewbacca, C-3PO and R2-D2, and of course the Rebel Alliance, in facing the Empire and the evil Sith Lord Darth Vader. Now, the original Star Wars films were hugely popular back in the 70s. Nobody has ever seen anything like it when Star Wars first came out. The queues around a cinema were absolutely phenomenal. And despite the problems the production had, it was probably, I think it was the biggest box office success of the decade. So huge success, and obviously then it spawned the success of Star Wars. The original movie spawned the following 2 films, which was The Empire Strikes Back and The Return of the Jedi. Now, the budget for the 3 movies was $76.5 million, which was a colossal amount of money back in the 1970s and the early 80s. However, at the box office, the 3 movies took $1.798 billion. So an absolute massive return, almost 18 times its cost it pulled back at the box office. So an absolute huge success and financial gain for Lucasfilm, and obviously it turned George Lucas into a billionaire. Anyway, this particular item we're looking at today is the Yoda based on that original trilogy, and this is the box it comes in. On the very top it says Star Wars, and it says 24 phrases. It says Star Wars Electronic Ask Yoda. Ask you will, a yes or no question. It says try me, press my left hand, you will. Ages 6 and above. Batteries included. This is replaced with 3 1.5 volt AA or R6 batteries. Alkaline batteries recommended. And Phillips head screwdriver not included, needed to replace batteries. And you've got the Hasbro logo at the bottom there. Okay, that's the front of the box. Let's turn it around to the back and see what we've got printed on the back. Okay, so I'll turn the box around to the back, and this is what it says on the back. It's got the Ask Yoda Star, the original trilogy collection Wars, and it says here from The Empire Strikes Back. So this is the version we're looking at today. So it says, in the days of the Old Republic, Jedi Master Yoda was the most wise and powerful of all Jedi, diminutive and unassuming. Yoda had no equals in his keen insight into the Force or in his agile skill with a lightsaber. For over 800 years, Yoda instructed young Jedi and instilled in them a profound sense of discipline, strength, and unity. During the dark times following the rise of the Sith, Yoda became the last of the Jedi and the only hope in instructing Luke Skywalker in the ways of the Force. Through patience and a deep knowledge of the Force, Yoda helped Luke to fulfill his destiny, a destiny that would finally restore peace to the galaxy and honor the legend of the Jedi. Now you have the wisdom of the Force in your grasp. Let Yoda guide you through the ways of the Force and the questions that trouble you. Ask Yoda a yes or no question, and he will use his skills and knowledge of the Force to answer you. But be aware, the Force is always in motion. Answers may not always be what you seek, but instead what you need. May the Force be with you. Try, I will, to answer your questions. Squeeze Yoda's left hand to trigger play. Ask Yoda your question. Maybe a question like, will I ever become a Jedi like my father? And number 3, squeeze Yoda's left hand again to hear the answer you seek. Yes, I sense that is, it says. Product and colours may vary at the bottom there. Your licensing and copyright information, 2004. And you have Tiger Electronics sign at the bottom. It says, go you will to starwars.hasbro.com for insider news and chances to win cool prizes. Okay, that's the back of the box. We'll just turn the box to the side. And there we can see again, Star Wars Electronic, Ask Yoda, Asked You Will, and yes or no question. And you've got Star Wars Trilogy logo at the bottom there. And there's that image of Yoda on Dagobah. And I think, so it's exactly the same on the other side. Star Wars Electronic, Ask Yoda, Asked You Will, a yes or no question. And Star, the original trilogy logo, Wars at the bottom. And again, that same image of Yoda on Dagobah. Okay, that's the box. Let's have a look at the figure and let's press his hand and see what happens. Okay, so I have turned him back around to the front, and then you can see, I mean, he looks the part, doesn't he? It really does look like Yoda. I mean, I suppose you couldn't really get it wrong because it is an animatronic puppet, I suppose, at the end of the day. But he looks absolutely incredible, all down to his wiry hair that's just hanging off the top of his head there. And he's in those robes that he wore on Dagobah, which are more like rags, really. And he's got his necklace around his neck and his little pouch to the side of his belt. And on his hand there, this is the hand that you squeeze, I'm imagining, but he's got his other hand here, which doesn't really move. There's no articulation apart from on this hand. The head doesn't turn either. And if we look inside the box, there's his feet down there, but they don't move either. So there's the only real movement is this particular hand here, which is one. Okay, so let's squeeze it and see what happens.
The Force and its wisdom are all around us. Ask you will a yes or no question. Sense the Force in my left hand. Press it and answer you, I will.
Okay, Yoda, will I win the lottery?
This even Yoda cannot see.
Okay, Yoda, will I become a Jedi like my father before me?
The answer you seek is yes.
Oh, that's nice. I will become a Jedi. Okay, interesting. Okay, let's think of another question. Will I manage to defeat Darth Vader in a battle?
You will know when you are calm and at peace.
Really? Okay. And what time is it?
No, I sense this is.
Oh, really? You don't know what time it is? Okay. And will we ever see Rey in another Star Wars movie?
Simple question you ask. No, I answer.
Oh, so she won't be coming back. Will Darth Vader make a return in any further movies?
Don't think. Feel. Be as one with the Force. The answer you seek will be found there.
Okay. And let's think of one more question. Will I get to fly a X-Wing?
No, I sense this is.
Fair enough. If that's the question, there we are. That's the answer. So there we are. I'm a really, really great item. You can make your own questions up as you go along. And obviously the answers you get laughable, really. I mean, it depends what you're asking, obviously. But you can ask any question if you're looking for a yes or no answer. Brilliant, brilliant toy. Okay, how well did these do back in the 2004? How well did they do? Well, I don't think they've done as well as what was expected for them to do. There's a couple of reasons why I think that. Because they were, I remember them being on the shop shelves for quite a number of, well, for a very, very long time, really. And then I can remember going into some of the stores and seeing them highly discounted. So I don't believe they overly sold what was expected to sell. And of course, there's quite a lot of them that turn up on the platforms these days. So hence the reason why I don't think they originally sold the quantities that they had hoped to sell. Personally, I think it's brilliant. I really do. And obviously the voice box, which is Yoda's voice, what he looks like, he looks exactly like Yoda. And yeah, I mean, very, very good item. I think it's such a wonderful, wonderful piece, and would be ideal for really anybody to have. And even if you just wanted it as a display piece, it just looks absolutely fantastic. Okay, let's move forward to 2025, which is where we are today. So we're moving
Clearing your
forward.
mind, are you? Or another question? Wish you to ask.
Okay, well, I will ask another question shortly, Yoda. Thank you very much for pointing that out. Let's move forward to 2025, which is where we are today. So we're moving forward 21 years. Do they come up for sale very often on the platforms? And yeah, you do quite often see these come up on the platforms. They're a lot of them being sold as brand new, never out of the packet, as this one is. This one has had a little bit of squashing of the box. There's a bit of shelfware on it, and it's where it was stacked in the stock room. There was other things put all around it and some things on top of it, which has caused the box to this shape slightly, and there's some edge wear because of the way it was on the shelf as well. But you do see, something like this on the platforms, but you also do find some mint condition ones on the platforms. So yeah, I mean, they are fairly common and fairly easy to pick up wherever you go. Lots of them produced, like I say, and I think lots of people brought them when they were reduced and just kept them, and now they're being offered on the platforms at pretty low money, really, in comparison to what they were when they first came out. So yes, they do come up quite often. I mean, do be a bit careful on the platforms though, because there is differences between people's opinions. Somebody's idea of very good condition could be somebody else's idea of acceptable condition. So bear that in mind when you are looking. There was also a lot of loose ones available on the platform, so as well as new, there's also loose. So it really does depend what you're looking for. A lot of them said they worked, and I can't see any reason why you would try and buy one that didn't work anyway, but there we are. It's your opinion. Really does depend on what you actually want the item for. And also bear in mind, some of the platforms use stock images and stock descriptions, so you could be looking at an absolute mint one on the image and description. However, if there's no new ones available, they automatically go to used, which is usually the very cheapest used one which is available, and that could just be a loose figure or it could be a non-working one. So make sure you if it doesn't say new and it says used, make sure you click that used link and read what you're about to order so there's no disappointments afterwards. And it wouldn't be the fault of the seller, and it's certainly not the fault of the buyer. It's just simply the way the platforms work. Okay, so you don't need to go through any of that rigmarole, really. You can come straight to us at Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles, where what you see in front of you is exactly the item you will receive should you wish to purchase it. And this particular item is no different to any of that, and it is available on the Midas Touch website. Just to point out, this particular one, we believe it was a shop display item before it was returned to the stock room, and it was put on a shelf in the stock room, but lots of other things were put all around it and on top of it, so hence the reason, as I said, hence the reason why there's a little bit of damage to the box, a little bit of squashing and so on. But otherwise, the item itself is in fantastic full working condition, which is surprisingly, considering the age, that the batteries are still functioning very, very well. But as we've tested it, it is working. And this particular item, as of today, can be purchased on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many, many other vintage Star Wars items. And many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely positive this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there is something in particular you're looking for, something old you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you'd be looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful vintage Star Wars electronic Ask Yoda interactive puppet model figure with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.